What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about Teflon tape, which is also known as PTFE or plumber's tape, and go through the proper method of installation, all of the different grades, and also the myths that surround it. So here we go. So briefly, what is Teflon? Teflon is a compound that has one of the lowest coefficient of friction on any solids. In other words, it's a great lubricant, which allows for deeper seating of the threads when talking about plumbing. It also seals the joint to some extent, but that's not its primary job. Its primary job is to aid in the tightening process to ensure that the fitting gets the penetration needed for it not to leak, as NPT or tapered threads rely on friction to be leak-free. Here's a simple chart that indicates how much each pipe size needs to be threaded in for it to be watertight. This friction is easy to overcome when tightening small pipes such as 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch, but when working on 2-inch piping for example, the installer would have real trouble to get the pipe seated in all the way without the tape being installed. This is due to two things. One is the sheer friction of the two tapered threads being put together, and the second is the fact that the threads aren't perfectly smooth due to the machining process. Let me show you from up close what I mean. As we could see, the threads aren't perfect. When the threads are created by the threading machine, they're rough and the tips of the threads sometimes chip off and leave a rugged edge to thread onto. And the Teflon basically covers these rough edges, making it easier to tighten. Here, try it for yourself. Try screwing on a fitting on a pipe with and without Teflon. You'll see a noticeable difference on how easy it is with the Teflon applied. Teflon also helps at keeping both surfaces from seizing together, kinda like a Teflon cooking pan. So with all of that said, how exactly do you apply Teflon tape? It's actually pretty easy. First of all, you want to make sure the threads you're applying it to are clean. Then, you want to grab the roll of Teflon with your dominant hand in this direction. If you try applying it in the other direction, you'll have trouble getting it taut and the roll will empty itself quicker than you could apply it. So use it in this direction. After, you want to hold the tip of the Teflon with your thumb and start applying it around the pipe, keeping the first thread to bare metal. The reason for this is that it's not needed, and secondly, you have more chance of it blocking off the pipe opening, so just stay away from the first thread to be safe. And then, just keep wrapping it around in the same direction as the threads until you did 3 or 4 complete rotations, and then snap it off. That's how you apply Teflon tape. If the pipe is close to a wall, a cool trick you could do to wrap it around the pipe is to first wrap it around a pen in reverse and then use the pen to apply it. Pretty neat, right? One way that some guys would install it would be in a counterclockwise fashion, and it's not good. Here's why. If you install it counterclockwise, as soon as you go to tighten your fitting, the Teflon will unravel itself and come off the threads as seen here, which is not a good thing. And that's pretty much it for the installation. To remove old Teflon tape, just grab a wire brush like this and brush it till it comes off. Never burn Teflon tape to remove it. Burning Teflon tape releases toxic fumes that could give you the Teflon flu. Alright, so what's up with all of the colors? Here's what each one is used for. There are 3 grades of Teflon: single, double, and triple density. Single being the less dense and less resistant to shredding and stringing, and triple being the densest and most resistant. The denser the Teflon, the better the quality it's considered. In the US, the minimum standard and thickness for Teflon tape is 3.5 mil and at least 1.2 grams per cubic centimeter dense, as per military specifications. Here's a chart of what each color tape is used for. The first one is this cheap white Teflon. This tape is only meant to be used on 3/8 inch threads or smaller for small water lines or compressed air for example. and is the cheapest, lowest density, and lowest quality. Some white Teflons do have the mil-spec requirements, and not all white Teflon tapes are cheap. So be aware of that and look for the mil-spec badges as seen here. The green tape is used for medical gases in hospitals such as oxygen lines and other gases, and it has something special to it. It's petroleum and grease free, unlike all the other tapes, making it the only safe option to use for pure oxygen. The pink tape is used on airlines, potable water lines, and hydronic systems ranging from half-inch to 2-inch, but cannot be used for anything else such as gas lines or oxygen lines. The yellow tape is mostly used on gas and propane lines as a requirement in most cities and countries because of its thickness. This yellow Teflon can also be used on pipe sizes ranging from half-inch to 2-inch, and it's also safe to use on potable water lines, as it's non-toxic. And the last tape is for stainless steel and is a triple density tape, making it the thickest, densest, and best quality of them all. Stainless steel, compared to black steel pipe for example, is a lot harder and has more of a tendency to gall than other materials, so a thicker tape is needed. But that's not all. This tape contains anti-seizing compounds inside of it such as nickel, which help to prevent galling and premature seizing. So it's recommended to use this particular tape for this application. And that pretty much covers it for Teflon tapes. I'll be talking about pipe dope and doing some comparisons on both in another video. I hope this clarified everything about Teflon tape and how to correctly apply it. And as always, if you learned something from this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe for more cool upcoming videos. And until the next one, thanks for watching.